for a Christmas distribution during the month of December 2015.
Make a motion.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor? Discuss and or approve to purchase or repair scoreboard at MCHSG. Anything for us?
We've got some quotes. I think we've only received 2 new quotes so far.
We've got actually three quotes. I think Mr. Miller got something in here, and then Mr. Gibson had looked up something for you to look at.
We actually got quotes.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 different ones.
That goes with this one. The quote should be that. This one will be
2240, 2240. We got 2230.
So what do we have in stock?
2230.
You have the 2230. You have this one right here.
One of them is a
that.
product spec, one of them is installation. You got the 2230.
Yeah.
That's just the product
But
spec.
basically, Mr. Gibson met with Mr. Sweeney and I this morning and talked about a little bit about the two differences. And I think he went over with you, Mr. Hunt. One has a third panel at the bottom, the one that Mr. Huntley has,
That's the 2240. That's one that has how many thousand, what player and everything.
and it's a little bit larger in size. They're both larger than what we have right now, as far as what's hanging in the center. But this one has the valves and has the players. That one only has 2 columns or 2 sections to it, and it's roughly $5,000 difference, I think, in between the two.
This one is 2962. The one that you're looking at is 17488. Now that would include, like they were talking about, that would be the lights or the board over top of the scoreboards. It's all wireless.
And that panel block.
And that includes installation.
Yeah.
29 and 20.
No, 21,
One about 17.5 and the other one's about 21.
Oh, this is
About
29.
No, yeah.
But we've not been able to find one of the dimensions like we have over here right now. These are all considerably larger, I think, dimension-wise. And I think Mr. Miller was supposed to lower the board. I don't know if he came back with the measurements or not. Do you have the measurements?
Did he bring
He
you
said
something?
5, but he's got something.
They're on that spec sheet somewhere.
He brought you some.
Something in here.
Well, I understood it was going to drop 3 feet below what it was right now.
If you buy this
Something
one,
like
that
Yeah,
one,
they go really below.
It's 3 feet.
You've got-
Long, you know, see what I'm saying?
That's pretty low, isn't it?
Well, especially when I have volleyball matches.
There should be-
Looking at possibly,
There should be another thing, I don't see it, but what he came back with, and on these two, he said it was like $5,000 installation fee. But one of the things that they said, according to Mr. Gibson, was that they recommend you can do it yourself. But one of the questions was, where it's not the same dimensions as what we have, those cables, and we have some,
With some power issues.
power issues,
Hang
speakers. And I think Mr. Miller had priced some things, 2 for the ends, what I looked at.
Just the regular boards.
Regular boards, wireless, and I think those were around, what do you say, they're about 8,000?
Yes.
That each one.
No,
No, for most
for
of them.
both.
I think that included the gold things.
Yeah.
too.
I think it's down, I'll go back and look if you want.
Is that the same one that he had when he was here at the last one?
He
The
got
only
it.
thing.
No, this is-
No, it was a different supply.
Okay.
A different thing.
And he said that the different vendor, and he said that that included the clock where it hits the rim, it stops the clock, that includes all that, includes wireless on the ends. But he said that, and he had a good point, he made a recommendation, maybe y'all want to come over and look and see what it looks like, and then look at the two before you make a decision on the gym, on how it would impact. But these right here, Mr. Gibson said, if you wanted to speak with them, you could call them, and they would tell you about the cabling and the weight, and make sure that, he said the weight shouldn't be an issue, but the only issue would be with the speakers.
Change.
Well,
You're talking about, if the scoreboard that's up right now is 6x6, and I'm just using numbers, and this here is 10x10, you know your cables has got to be
Well,
redone.
they have to be,
They got to be moved, right?
Well, possibly.
No,
The thing I would think about is, this one gives you the weight. For example, this board is 2240, the biggest board is, weighs 1,675 pounds. That is your hanging weight. We would need to make sure that whatever the cable is, because this is connecting to all of what's originally there. Is it strong enough?
And you have one other option. You have
Your structure.
the company,
Strong.
and Mr. Miller, I think Mr. Miller calls this, or was it Mr. Miller?
And to be honest with you, I don't know
They
that,
will.
I don't know that it will, but I also don't know. I know that your intent is to try to have something in place before the season, but I don't know if that can happen.
I think that was, Davies.
A lot of the stations will
That's
have
right.
shipped out at a certain amount of time, and it never,
Well, they would have to come out and look to see if it was like our facilities can.
But you gotta get the architect back involved in that.
Mr. Miller said that he also spoke with the man
You probably
that
would.
made this one, that been, but he's working somewhere else, that they would actually build you one to that specific, size.
Yeah, you can.
But I don't know over expense,
And he
but
said
they
he
can always
always
do one to go right back into what you have. Yeah, check.
I don't-
In the old housing,
Yeah.
that, how long will that take?
That's the question, that was all, yeah. So I was trying to
Or
everything.
it may not work, it may not be fully operational because of just some circuits in it or whatever. I don't think it's necessarily circuits, because we've done bulbs, we try to do that every year, do some replacement when they're out. It could be just connections that need to be worked on, I don't know, but an 8x7, if you're going to hang down 3 more feet.
I just-
I don't think that's,
I think.
That's just my understanding. What insurance is.
He said, he explained to us that it would be 350 hanging down, but he said we kept a flag down underneath that, and didn't think that would impact.
yep.
That'd be the last thing you want, is let something wrong.
Come out here.
You know, how would they play these other games?
Can't do that.
And the Officer Central doing things like years.
There's just a.
Paid for. I'm just saying the gym itself is a lot lower than what our school is.
You're talking about for mobile?
Yeah.
Well, if it is a ceiling, it's just counts as,
So they can probably have
letter.
their idea of, what's the positives of having one in the center and what would be, what's the negatives and vice versa before it's on.
I think Michelle's right, though, if you provide them that opportunity for the players to be able to see behind scoreboards, that'll satisfy a lot of the coaches.
But I know they have worked on this. I know Mr. Gibson, for example, it takes a few days. He started on Thursday, and they have a few days just to get these quotes in. They'll take the facsimile.
No, but they ain't real quick about getting
Nobody
back
will
to you,
get
and all,
back.
they don't,
So,
yeah, I don't know why.
but we have a number to contact the guy, I think Sam said it was the one that built this one before, but he's no longer with that company, but he did offer the bill, so we can give him a call.
And he said, he said that once you decide, it wouldn't be a long time when you order. He said that,
They'll take it.
they could get it finished.
Well, maybe think about it before making, no rash decisions on this, I don't think.
Well, the scoreboard is working, they got it rigged good enough. The problem is, on one side, I think it's the visitor, the 8's not showing up, which I don't know if that's just bulbs or what, I don't know anything about stuff like that, I don't know.
Biggest problem I have with it is sometimes
And
they
they-
exactly read right,
Yeah,
but.
But right
for the
now,
most
this one
part,
facing-
We only have an issue sometimes between an 8 and a 3, and if it was far enough in the game, you knew it wasn't, the
Yeah.
score was an 8 or something.
so right now, we know what we figured out what the 8 is, so.
So I'm gonna make a motion to table this item number 3 until we find out some more information.
Second motion.
Motion made, second, all in favor?